What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B Hot Radio Shout there. Stepping in the building, I got my West Coast fam stepping off in this thing. Glasses Malone.
Hey, what's the deal,
what's going on, man?
Can't call it, man. It's good to be here.
I mean, first of all, Glasses, you done came through. I wish New Face was here so he could get a hold of these things right here.
Man.
I mean, we got the cassette tape right here and the CD of Council Deez Nuts.
That's accurate. That's accurate. Yeah.
First of all, Glasses, what was it that made you call it Council Deez Nuts, man?
Really, we was talking about it earlier. It's just this crazy peanut allergy going on. Nah, cause I feel like we from the streets, man, and we really got to keep saying what we want to say.
Yeah.
We got to keep letting the world hear the voice of the ghetto, uncensored, unadulterated, our perspective.
Exactly.
And I got to keep representing. So if it means Pepsi don't want to pay me, cancel these nuts.
Come on.
Fuck y'all checks. You know what I mean? I'm going to get it off the corner.
Exactly. When it comes to just being able to get it out the corner and out the mud, though, man, what has that independent grind been like for you, sir?
It's crazy because we also in a time now where everybody feels like music is not for sale.
Yeah.
So it is crazy having CDs and cassettes and vinyls.
Yeah.
But, I created my own website. Shout out to my boy Nip Hustle, rest in peace.
Right.
But thecripstore.com. And I've been selling a lot of physical albums, you know what I mean? Vinyls, CDs, tapes, and people just been showing love. It's been good.
I mean, that's that direct-to-consumer grind as well, but that's where it's at for people that got real fan bases, sir.
Sure.
But, I mean, Glasses, can you take me to day one, man? What was the moment in this 50 years of hip-hop span that hip-hop bit your ass and you said, you know what, I love this thing, let me get into it?
So that's a trick question because this didn't happen to me to 2019.
What?
I had already made millions of dollars. I had already got record deals, had hit records, made those shit, but it didn't really bite me the way it should until 2018-19.
Talk to me.
2011, like, I'm going through this thing, like I'm trying to figure out music, I'm making a dope album, and my DJ kind of put me up what was BPM, explained to me what BPM was, and it kind of set this thing off in me and made me start understanding records, and then hip-hop came into the fold, and then marketing. And then by the time I was finished with this 2011, 2018, 19, I had finally fell in love with it. And that's when I made Tupac Must Die. That became my finals from all this college that I've been going through. That's hip-hop, records, and marketing.
In the beginning then, what was it that got you into the game then, sir?
The business of it. You know what I mean? Like I was replacing, my whole life I used to sell Sherm, you know what I mean? I used to sell PCP. So I had a house that used to do really well, so I wanted to replace that business. And I liked rap because it was therapeutic. Yeah. Like explaining all the stuff we was going through. It was like getting it off my chest. I didn't feel like, it's like a therapist. The mic was like a therapist.
Exactly.
And so I just loved it at that. I didn't love it, but it helped. It helped me. Then it paid me.
Yeah.
And then like I got in it, made really great money, and I was going around the world seeing stuff and doing all kind of crazy shit, and looked up one day and really had to make a choice. Is this what I want to do? And once I set off in that whole kind of pilgrimage because of learning what records, hip hop, and marketing was, it bit me and I loved it. And then the money just stopped mattering. Everything about it just became, let me just execute. Let me do the fundamentals. I love it. I fuck with it.
Being on the West Coast though, man, I mean, what was the music that first intrigued you though?
Oh man, shit, so everybody from LA, if you grew up in the 80s, right, you heard all East Coast stuff. Yeah. You heard all the LLs, Fat Boys. Yeah. You know what I mean, all that stuff. We got NWA early. Yeah. We got Toddy T and Spade early. Yeah. DJ Quick before everybody
Come on
else.
now.
And then Death Row happened, and that was the end of every time.
That damn Death Row. What was it like watching Death Row do his thing from the first-hand experience as a youngster, though, man?
You didn't really... Okay, so as a young person, you didn't really trip what was happening as much as it was happening. Because we already had Too Short, right? We had E40. We had stuff that was successful. Yeah. But we didn't realize how much more successful Death Row was about to take hip-hop in general. Exactly. So when Dre happened with The Chronic, I remember that. Yeah. And it was like a dope time. Like you would hear the music, you're like, damn, this is representing what we see every day.
That's right.
And you see everybody else talking about it. And then Boys in the Hood, the movie came out.
Facts.
So you're like, okay, then Cube is doing damage. And then Snoop happens, and that's where you like, okay, this is different. You know what I mean? That's when you knew it was different, and you knew the world that fell in love with West Coast street urban culture.
Speaking of Too Short, though, I mean, that Super Sport dropped that visual for that thing, sir. I mean, break that banger down to me. How did that collab come about?
Man, my boy Pun. Shout out to Ace Boy Pun.
Yeah.
So Ace Boy's Worldwide Podcast at home. It's a dope live stream.
Yeah.
My man Pun is somebody that's a really dope A&R, and he put the record together for me.
Yeah.
He was like, man, how we don't got a song with Too Short? And I was like, well, let's make one. So he got the beat together. Shout out to Tone Bone who made it. Really great producer from the land. And we knocked it out, and Short was like, man, we gonna do a video? And I was like, yeah, we gonna do a video.
Yeah.
So I kind of tapped into my street racing roots. Most people don't know I've been racing cars my whole life.
Yeah.
So I tapped into that and had fun, and it was dope to have that project with Short like that.
When you think about that street racing, though, man, I mean, what was it that made you get into street racing?
Oh, it's illegal.
Yeah.
I'm just one of them
Just
type
gonna
of
break the law.
whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that sounded a bit crazy, but you know, we black in America. Last thing we got business doing is following every rule.
Facts.
It's a dope history of street racing that I'm working on a documentary for, so people will enjoy it.
I mean, when it comes to street racing in Cali, though, I mean, how big is it, and how often is this stuff occurring?
Every week. Every week. Not the donuts.
Okay.
Not none of the. Not shout out to the takeover scene.
Yeah.
Shout out to all those things. But I mean, genuine quarter-mile, eighth-mile street racing. It's huge. It's a huge culture. Once a week, it's happening. It's been like that for long as I've been alive.
Now, when we talk about culture and just stuff being huge, you was on my boy Court podcast, and you said something about Drake and hip hop.
Oh yeah.
What were your thoughts on that when you saw that it went viral, and did you want to clarify it a bit from how you felt about it?
Well, I don't think it really needed much clarification. Somewhere along the line, it's like there's a problem with somebody that I watch come into business and be successful that I'm happy for.
Yeah.
It's not true. But hip-hop is for ghetto people to express themselves artistically.
That's right.
It's made millionaires. It's changed people's life from the ghetto. I'm not mad at no middle-class person using it, but don't confuse it with what this is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all I was saying is Drake wouldn't be hip-hop. He'd be mainstream rap. He always was.
Yeah.
But people took that as if I don't like him or he doesn't make great music. And some of this shit is ridiculous.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, this is the kind of the responsibility, you know, we bear as hip-hop artists and representatives of a culture. So everybody ain't going to agree with it, and I'm right and they wrong.
Okay, when you think about 50 years of hip-hop, do you think we're going to get another 50 years out of hip-hop the way it's going?
I don't know if it's going to look the way it looked for the first 50.
Ooh. Talk to me, Glasses.
I just think like rock and roll. I think if you keep allowing people that don't represent where we come from, then guess what? If you got to start investing money, just like jazz look like Kenny G now.
Yeah.
Just like rock and roll look hella white right now.
Yeah.
You'll never see a black face again because guess what? The powers that be gonna invest their money with what sells the easiest. And now you won't have a black rock star. It don't. At one time, rock was all black. Now it's not a nigga in sight. At one time, jazz was all black. Now it's not a nigga in sight for the most part. Shout out to Terrence Martin and the homies, but it just goes through these phases where people want to invest in financially what makes sense. So if we allow people to say what they do is hip hop just because they're emulating a style of delivery like rap, or they're wearing a certain outfit, or they're using a certain lingo that sounds like us, and then that's all it takes to be hip hop, then it is gonna be white as a motherfucker in 20 years.